Welcome back, everyone. I'm Seth Roth, and today we are demonstrating the effectiveness of the Skyrim mod iNeed. This is one of my favorite mods for getting into the essence of survival, in that you now need food, water, and sleep in order to survive. Obviously, our best place to discuss food, water, and sleep is your local tavern. Where else are you gonna go, right?
After a friendly drinking contest.
Please ignore my cute little mod over there. She's trying to distract me from the task at hand. iNeed is the last of the three mods that I use for Immersion. Frostfall and Campfire are the other two that are fantastic. So what we're going to do to kick this off is we're going to wait about 12 hours and we're going to watch my needs kick in. So the way this works is the game actually tracks with each hour how well your thirst, hunger, and fatigue are doing. And then once your character is back in control again, in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see the results. So, as you can see, bottom right-hand corner, I have an apple symbol and a drink symbol. This is to tell me that I'm currently hungry and thirsty. Now, if we go over to active effects, we're going to find a couple of interesting tidbits. First off, because I've been eating a wide variety of food, I actually have stamina and magicka buffs. I just kind of eat as I go, particularly when you're looting bandit caves and stuff. It keeps your diet varied and gives you a small buff. By effectively maintaining all three of your needs, hunger, thirst, and rest, you will actually get a bonus to your health points, which grows over time the longer you're able to maintain it. Now, if you'll notice, I have no negative effects right now, because I've only been hungry and thirsty for a few hours. But we're going to put this to the test and see just how bad this can get if you ignore this for too long. So let's pump that for another 12 hours. I'm sure these NPCs are going to be frustrated with the illustrious Dragonborn just sitting in one place staring at the fire for 24 hours straight like some deranged madman. But at least I'm not, auto-saving and casting fire spells on everybody. So, as you can see, the symbols in the bottom right corner, the apple and the water, have gotten a lot brighter. That's to let you know that your needs have increased in severity, because now we have the debuffs. So, I am mildly hungry. This will lower my health regeneration and my damage output by 10%. Also, resting is 5% less effective at lowering fatigue. So when you're hungry and you rest, you won't recover as quickly. Also, suffering from moderate thirst. My time between shouts is increased by 30%. I really like that. That's a fun touch, right? Because your throat's dry, so you can't talk as well. I suppose is the logic there. Your stamina and magicka regeneration are reduced by 30%. Oof, that's a nasty debuff. Resting is also 10% less effective at lowering fatigue. So notice that last debuff, resting, is now less effective at lowering fatigue. That stacks between the two of them. So if you lose track of both needs, then you're kind of double debuffed. So we're going to continue pushing the envelope until I also have a fatigue barrier popping up, which should be in the next 12-hour cycle, because I don't think this character can go that long without sleep. Day and a half? The longest I've been on is 30 hours, and at that point the straight shot on the highway felt like it was doing turns and bending and swirling, and somehow I got to my date's house without crashing the car. But I am still not getting... There will be a third symbol once your character has been... Oh! Oh, that's funny, I didn't realize that. When you're sitting on a bench, it actually counts as rest. So, we just both learned something today. When you sit on the bench or sleep in the bed, it counts as rest. So I bet if I'm just standing here and I go another 12 hours, not only will I have some serious debuffs for food and drink, but I will also finally have some rest deficiencies as well. And we'll see what those debuffs do. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, the sun and moon symbol, bottom right corner, lets me know that my character is also sleepy. Now, because it's still mild and it's not white, it's kind of grayed out, that should mean I don't have any debuffs yet related to sleep, which is true. So we're going to do another 12. I don't think you can die straight from starvation or thirst. I think the debuffs get really heavy, though, if you try and push that envelope too far. So we're going to do another 12 hours and see where we're at after 2 days of waiting. There we go. Okay, so now we've got 3 active debuffs. Moderate fatigue. Okay, base stamina and magicka are reduced by about 20%. Oof, so your actual total amount of stamina and magicka gets cut. Your movement speed is reduced by 10%. You will also learn all skills 30% slower. Oof, that is a nasty debuff, right? Go out there hunting and you're pushing through the fatigue, try and level up your character and you just can't do it. It's because now you're seriously debuffed. Meanwhile, let's look at the severe debuffs here. Health regeneration and damage output are reduced by 70% when you are under severe hunger. Resting is 20% less effective at lowering fatigue. And remember, the resting debuff stacks, which means, yep, 20% resting debuff on severe thirst as well. Time between shouts increases by 70%. Stamina and magicka regen reduced by 70%. So these are the things we try to avoid when we get into iNeed, and the better you maintain these three, you also get some small positive buffs like we saw earlier. So as you can see, I'm still benefiting from the varied diet buff, despite being severely hungered. So it's a buff that builds up over time, and it can stick with you even if you kind of forget once in a while to take care of your needs, which I really like, because it kind of accounts for your character's overall well-being. Now, let's go ahead and tackle these needs first, and we'll tackle hunger first. And we'll walk you through that. There's a couple of interesting intricacies, particularly if you're using Frostfall. So with food, you have your raw meat, which if you eat, it will satiate you, but it can also make you sick. And if you're playing with another mod that is about having realistic diseases and illnesses, then you don't want that. So we're going to stick with cooked foods, because that makes you, it's just better for you. And then also you can do raw foods like carrots and cabbages and vegetables, and just like that you're feeling well satiated. For the purpose of the demonstration, you can also make soups. Soups are really nice in immersion based gaming with Frostfall, because not only do they give you food and hydration, like they take care of your hunger and your thirst, but they also warm you up. So if you're out in the cold and you're fighting off freezing to death, you can actually eat soup to warm your body and keep you going. So as you can see, my hunger insignia is gone, and that's been taken care of. Now we're going to take care of thirst. I know that water obviously takes care of thirst. I think alcohol will as well. So let's see what the honey brew mead can do for us. That's 400 brew meads. Yep, took care of the hydration. Alright. And last but not least, obviously, if you want to take care of rest, you know what? I haven't slept in 2 days, but let's see if just resting for 12 hours actually brings your fatigue level up to normal, or if it's just a little bit of a boost. Because I actually have not tested that out yet, so let's see what it looks like. Abracadabra. Nope. Okay, oh wait, that did get rid of the fatigue, but now we've got food and drink, so it's a constant juggling match. But there is a very cool little thing that this mod offers. If you go into the mod configuration for iNeed, you can actually go into the basic settings and enable the action iNeed. So what I really like about that is it gives your character a power called, obviously, iNeed. When you activate it, it brings up a quick menu, so I can auto-eat, and my character will just grab the biggest thing from the inventory, the food item that weighs the most, which then keeps you satiated the longest. And then you can auto-drink, and he'll drink water, and there you go. So I really like that touch, because one of the annoying things from the survival mode in Fallout 4 was that you always had to go into your inventory and scroll through your items and pick what you're going to eat and drink and all that. And this kind of automates a lot of that, so it's just 2 clicks, right? Instead of going through instead of letting it be as annoying as it was in Fallout. There's also, I had a friend of mine I was discussing this with, and his biggest worry was that being forced to stop and eat and stop and drink would be really annoying, particularly if it came up a lot. So one of the last things that I want to show you guys about iNeed is that the severity of it, how quickly you grow in hunger, thirst, and fatigue, is all up to you. It's all perfectly customizable. For example, the time scale is how fast time passes in the game. So for example, if you turn that up super high, for example, then your days go by really fast, in which case obviously your character gets hungry and thirsty a lot quicker because time's going by faster. but you can also slow that time scale, or even slow your character's own rates of hunger, thirst, and fatigue, so that they don't stack up as quickly. So that way you can kind of tweak it a little bit so you still get the feeling that you have to feed and rest your character without it being overwhelming. If you get into the nitty-gritty, you can extend these needs to your followers, as well as adding in additional rules and limitations to make things more interesting. For example, you can make it so that alcohol dehydrates you and raw food hurts you. Drinking from unknown water sources can screw you over. Oh, and there we go. So if you enable the death mode, then you can actually die without food or water, or possibly rest, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there you go. Okay, so there is a possibility of setting this to the point where if you're not tracking your needs, you will die, which is a nice kind of an advanced... I like it when mods not only give you this extra immersion, but they also give you the customization to build it however you want. I think that's just brilliant on the part of the mod developers that put all this together. Lastly, I want to show you guys a couple of interesting things about, particularly for taking care of your hydration, that I thought were really immersive. You'll notice that I have these water skins that I use to carry my water. Those are actually part of the campfire mod base, which is one of my favorites for kind of outfitting your character with all of the survival and self-reliance type items. One of the interesting things is once you have those water skins, if you're running iNeed, you can actually go to any healthy standing body of water and fill up your water pouch. So for example, we're going to go into the water a little bit here. Drink and refill. So he's going to automatically drink to take care of his own thirst, and he's going to fill his water bottle. And you can do this at any nearby water source, which I think is fantastic. Also, interestingly enough, if you try this on the ocean or near seawater, you will fill your canteen with seawater instead of actual water, which you can't actually drink. I found out the hard way that can happen, and it really sucks. Especially if you're doing a pure like survival playthrough and you're not near town and now you're dying of thirst. So that's another thing to watch out for if you ever try this mod. But I really think it's a great way to heighten the immersion of your character, and when you have like a quick inventory menu that you can use to address whatever needs you want, I feel like it allows you to tackle that kind of immersion without really detracting from your game that much. Lastly, if you're desperate for hydration, because obviously when you're in the middle of town, water is harder to find, because not everyone has a big fountain, most NPCs will give you the option of refilling your water bottle for 5 gold, which is very affordable and can keep your... That's a day and a half worth of water right there. You really don't have to drink it as much, at least with the settings that I've been using. You can crank that up more if you want it to be more realistic. It's always the balance between realistic and immersive. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this demonstration of the iNeed mod. It is a great way to heighten the immersion of your Skyrim campaign, particularly when you get to balance the buffs and debuffs of being hungry, thirsty, or tired. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.